Whether you live in Egypt or America, you need to have this if you're thinking about retiring. Hi, I'm Melissa Hull, the host of The Ripple Effect, and today I'm going to introduce you to a financial planner that can help solve all your worries about retirement. Stay tuned. And welcome back. I'm Melissa Hull. This is The Ripple Effect, and joining me today is LaRoy Mack, the financial planner that I told you about earlier, and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Melissa.
Yeah, so I'm here in Chicago, Illinois. I kind of travel around. My audience knows that. So the one question that I have, and I kind of run into this, is everyone has concerns about their financial futures.
Absolutely.
And you're an expert in how to craft a financial future that is there for you so that you don't have to worry.
Absolutely. See, most cases there are portfolios with risk, and then there's that balance. So this is what I focus on. I focus on what is the safe part. Where would you come into the middle where you have something that's guaranteed and not going to lose any money. So that's very important.
It's very important, and I know for listeners and my audience, it's that guarantee that where it's safe, but it's growing. How do you guarantee a safe investment and grow it? Because I think everyone assumes that financial investments have risk.
Yes, and that's one of the big misconceptions of financial planning, because a lot of people believe that there's no guarantees and there's no safety. But we have a vehicle, basically, that guarantees that you never lose any money. And in some cases, we can even offer a 10% bonus day one on that money.
So you're telling me I can give you X amount of dollars and there's the outside possibility or the real possibility? It's a real possibility. It can grow 10% the minute I hand it to you.
Absolutely. The guarantee is, just an example, $100,000, you will make $10,000 within the week. You won't pay a fee. You won't pay a fee.
I won't pay a fee.
You won't pay a fee, and you will never lose $1. Okay.
For those of you that are listening, how is it that you can say that we don't pay fees? I want to know more. That I really know that people out there, this might be the first time they've ever heard this. It's surprising. I think it might be the first time I've heard that you can make a financial investment and it be guaranteed without a fee. Right. So where have you been? That's what I want to know. Where have you been hiding?
Well, I've been around, and the vehicles that we use are very, very popular. They didn't used to be because, honestly, it was greed. Because we offer a certain percentage of the market. So let's say the market went up 5% and we had a cap at 4%. You would earn that 4%. But when the market crashed and did minus 10%, you would never lose $1. That's how that vehicle works. And the name of it is an index annuity.
An index annuity?
Yes.
Okay.
And we just take help people understand, at a certain age, you don't want to ride that roller coaster anymore. You want to have something that's going to be safe and guaranteed. And some of the index annuities also can create a pension, which the world has come away from. There's a lot of jobs now that don't offer pensions. They offer 401ks instead.
It's interesting, in just some recent research, pension funds are one of the fastest growing industries. So tell me, is this something that more people are finding out about and using to create their financial future?
See, because the biggest thing, to help you understand also, AARP, everybody knows about AARP, right. The seniors. They did a study, and they found out that the seniors are more afraid of running out of money than actual death.
Really?
Yes. So your money has to work for you, and it has to be there. And we can show you how to have an income for life and never run out of money.
So that's a very powerful thing that you just said, that more people that are in their retirement years are afraid of running out of money than they are of dying.
Yeah.
That tells me that this is a real problem.
Yes,
it is. It's a very real concern. So tell me a little bit about how you take your typical client and what their needs are. Like, what are the benefits, the immediate benefits that they get from working with you?
Absolutely. Well, one of the benefits that we actually get is we educate our clients. So let's dive into 401ks a little bit. So when we talk about 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, deferred comp, these are all qualified plans. And what that means is that we have not paid taxes. The problem with that is that when they slid over the 401k paperwork, we didn't know what we were signing. We didn't know about the fact that you're going to lose 50 to 70% of your money when you need it the most.
50 to 70%
Yes.
of 401k money is lost
It's
to hidden
lost.
fees and taxes?
Hidden fees and taxes as well, but the taxes is really what's going on. Because let's dive in, let's think about it. If we were a farmer, would we want to pay taxes on our seed or the harvest? Of course we want to pay taxes on the seed. But what we do in the government and the job has made it, basically set us up to pay taxes on our harvest. So if we were paying taxes on $20,000 that was in our account, and then we stayed here 20, 30 years, and now it's $400,000 in that account, that's when we pay taxes. And if I ask the world the question, do we believe taxes are going to go up in the future or down? Everybody's going to say it's going to go up, and they're correct. Because we're in a $28 trillion deficit, in debt. So the government, and I hope I don't come up missing, so if I do some investigation, but the government doesn't want to tax the small money. They want to tax your large harvest because they have bigger bills to pay. And that's what's happening.
Very true, and a very interesting thought. One that I'm going to leave with you, my audience, for just a few minutes as we take a break and come back. Stay with us. And welcome back. I'm Melissa Hull. This is The Ripple Effect, and this is my guest, LaRoy Mack. And before the break, you gave me some really powerful information and something I've been thinking about as we took that break, which is I'm not as educated about my financial future as I thought I was, and I'm guessing I'm not unique.
Right.
But it really impacted me what you said about the hidden fees that are associated with 401ks that are applied not when it's a little bit of money, but when it's grown and it's matured. So talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, let me dive into that, Melissa. What's happening is Forbes did a study, and the fees are as high as 4 to 5% of mutual funds and stocks and 401ks. As high as 4 to 5%. So let's imagine I'm doing what I'm paying $500 a month out of my check. I don't see it as everything is beautiful. And there's a fee in the back. But no one really knows what that fee is because they don't disclose it. In 2012, there was supposed to be a rule that you had to disclose the fees. However, it's the same in the perspectives that come out. The fees, they're as high as 4 to 5%. But what happens, can you imagine if my fee is 4 to 5% on $20,000, and then after my harvest, now my fee is 4 to 5% on $500,000. What happened to the majority of my money? No one ever talks about that. No one explains that on top of the risk, because the market, everybody knows what happened in 2001, 2, and 3, and 2008, where accounts lost 4 to 5% or 50% of the account. But guess what? When I lost that tremendous amount of money, I still had to pay a fee for losing it.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
you
the fee.
still are charged the fees whether or not
Whether you
the
make
fund
money.
performs.
Wall Street makes money if
Wow.
you make money or if you lose money. They still get paid in the fees. And the sad part about it is if you think about it, when you were losing money in 2008, did you get a call from your 401k department?
No.
Saying, hey, you need to switch this around. Because they don't have to advise you. And they still charge you the fee.
So they can lose money, charge you a fee, and they don't have to notify you?
No. Why would I call you? Because I get paid regardless. I am going to get paid if the market drops 40%. I'm going to get paid if the market goes up 20%.
Okay, so let's recap.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we know this,
Yes.
I'm guessing that there's a lot of people that may want to start to think about getting out of their 401ks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm guessing you help people do that.
I do. I show them that, and here's the thing too, the 401k is very, very difficult to get out.
It is.
In most cases, you have to quit your job or you have to have a hardship. So, and why do you think that is?
Because they make money.
Because they make money and the government wants to keep you into this plan until you retire so that I have more to tax you on. And I'm going to dive a little deep just to let people know about what's happening in the world. Have you ever heard of RMDs, Required Minimum Distribution?
No, I haven't.
So can you imagine, I've done everything I'm supposed to do and I'm 65 now and I want my money, I'm going to take some money and you're taxed on that money the minute you take it, no matter what tax bracket you're in. So at 65, I'm taking my money or I'm fed up. I'm saying I'm not going to take any more money, because I get taxed on it and I have something else going on so I don't need it. At 70 and a half, the government requires you. The IRS requires you to pay or to spend a certain amount of money. If you don't, it's a 50% penalty. So after I'm retired and I'm 70 and a half, the government is still taking control of my money. They're telling me and they're mandating and they send me a letter, you have to spend this amount of money. Because remember, you only get taxed when you spend it. So you can't just leave it there if you want to leave it for your grandkids or something like that. This is what's happening and it never stops. So if you have $1 million in your IRA or your 401k, they are going to take this money for the rest of your life. It never stops. And that's what really, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, pissed me off. Because I've done everything I was supposed to do, and you're telling me at 70 and at 80 and at 90, you still are going to require me to spend a certain amount of my money that I work for day in and day out? How is that fair?
It doesn't seem fair at all.
And a lot of people just don't know.
This is such powerful information, LaRoy. I know that people are going to want to know more and contact you. I'm sure there are people looking at their financial portfolios as we speak,
Right.
questioning whether or not they really understand what they've created for their financial future, their retirement.
Absolutely.
So how do people find you?
Okay. Well, I have a website. It's
Okay.
called ChicagoSafeMoneyExpert.com. And they can actually call my office as well at 708-794-8700.
Okay.
And listen, because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, I'm going to give you my personal cell number as well.
Really?
Yeah, so they can call me at 708-205-5110 because I want people to know and to be able to prepare. It's better for you to know so you can make a sound decision on what you want to do and what you want to have.
The ripple effect was created with this belief that everyday people can do extraordinary things.
Absolutely.
When they choose to make a positive difference in the lives of others. And what you're sharing today is the epitome of that. And I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for caring about people and their financial futures, because you're right. As I sit here and talk to you, I've really learned a lot, and I know my viewers are learning more. But I do have a few more questions.
Sure.
What is your number one recommendation for a person who is beginning to, maybe they're a little younger?
Mm-hmm.
How do you suggest they begin to plan if they're in corporate America and their options are 401k plans?
Right.
What do they do? How do you advise that person?
Well, that's a very great question. And what I want people to understand, anybody who's starting off, anybody, no matter if you make $10 an hour to $100 an hour, I want everyone to pay themselves that first hour of what they do, the first hour. So, and it's amazing how that works. So even if I make $10 an hour and I pay myself 1 hour every day that I work, That's $50 a week times 4. That's $200 a month. Then you are paying yourself and you are going to be in control. Then I want you to find a vehicle. The vehicle that we use is called the IUL, which stands for Index Universal Life. And the reason why we use that is because you build your money tax-free, you have the upside of the market, and none of the losses. This is one of the vehicles that most rich people are using because 401k has limits. You can only put $18,000 a year, but the IUL has no limit. So you can put as much money as you want. And here's another thing. When you're building this cash, you have access to this cash tax-free. The 401k, if you touch your money before 59 and a half, if you're able to touch it, it's a 30% penalty.
I think you just found your next client.
Exactly.
I think I'm all in.
Absolutely.
You know what, I love that advice on paying yourself first.
Absolutely.
You know, but let's just say that there are people, because the economy has been a bit of a struggle for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I travel the world and I see a lot of people really struggling just to even make ends meet.
Right,
So
absolutely.
for that person, what if they can't pay themselves fully? What can, just whatever they can do?
Right, even if it's half of your
Okay.
hourly wage. What you have to do is you have to think about yourself. There's always going to be a list of bills.
You're right.
But Melissa, you are number one on that list.
Excellent
You-
advice.
ComEd, gas money, everybody else, but you are number one on that list. Because what happens if people don't do that? They end up paying payday loans, 400%.
You know, I'm reminded of this, when you get on an airplane, they always say, put your oxygen mask on you first
Right.
before you start to help someone else.
Absolutely.
It's sort of the same principle. What you're saying is, put your oxygen mask on your financial future
Right.
so that you control it, not somebody else.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Because it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Ah, so powerful. It's that, say that again, because that was really good.
Okay. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
It's what you keep.
Because there's a
Wow.
lot of people making a lot of money and don't know where it is. And then, just to share a brief story with you, I worked in social services. I guess that's where I get my giving from.
Mhm.
For 19 years, I worked in group homes in DCFS ward, battered and abused kids and things like that. I loved that. I loved it. But I was still broke. 2 full-time jobs. And at one point, I had 3 full-time jobs. If your money is not working for you, it's working against you. So, not to down banks, but banks are paying you 0.0.0.1. So, in other words, you're not making anything. So, if you're not making anything, you're going backwards because inflation is at least 3%. So you have to have something that's making money for you so that you can continue to enjoy your life. Pay yourself first and know what the fees are.
Yeah.
We don't go to the store and throw everything in the cart. I don't, without looking at the price.
I usually don't. I'm not gonna I'm gonna be honest
Right,
here.
exactly.
I usually do
Right.
look, but there have been a few times where it just
Right,
is.
just you need what you get, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, a lot of people don't really live like that. So why your main source of retirement, why don't you know what it costs?
You know, you've definitely changed my thinking on the level of education that I have about my own financial future. I definitely am going to keep talking to you
Absolutely.
and investigating what you're talking about because, I do. I want to create a legacy. I want to have
Right.
something to leave my children, and I want to be able to help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I really want to serve, and I think that, in order to do that, I need to be able to take care of myself, obviously, because you can't give what you don't have.
Right, exactly.
So as I'm sitting here thinking about my financial future, I know that there have been times in my life when we've lost it all. I've had to start over. I've had to reinvent myself. And I remember the stress that I felt, that anxiety, because without money, the worry that sets in is, it penetrates everything, your relationships, your health, you know, your emotional health, your physical health, and your quality of life.
Right.
You know, so it's really a much more important thing to be talking about and really educating yourself on. And what you've shared today has really helped me. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I know that you're helping a lot of people out there that are
Yes.
listening. And
Yes.
and you just have such a giving heart and spirit. You really do care about people, and it comes across and comes through. I want to ask you a little bit about
Sure.
this nonprofit organization that you're spearheading, and it's just another example of how you're giving back, and
Gotcha.
I'd love to know more.
Absolutely. The world is in a tough place. As I said, in social service, I used to work in group homes, and in fact, one of the group homes that we used to run, you had to fail 5 placements just to get there. So it was the
Oh,
worst
wow.
of the worst. So we had gangbangers, drug dealers, rapists, we had everybody, but there were still kids. Right in the Chicago CPS area, the schools, they're not getting the financial literacy to change their lives. They don't understand about credit. They don't understand about, life insurance. They don't understand about the basics. And that's what my not-for-profit is going to do. It's going to go into the areas and educate kids and educate parents who don't know. Because face it, we learn about our money through our parents. And if our parents don't know, then we don't know. So we're going to add that. And not only that, all the deaths and of young people that's happening, the majority of those families don't even have life insurance.
Yeah.
I'm going to build an organization where we actually provide life insurance for families like that, because it's important, because legacies are built from life insurance. And a lot of things we don't know is that life insurance, culturally, we buy it for one reason, and most of us buy it for one reason, that's for death.
Right.
But did you know that you can make 14% in a life insurance policy and it be tax-free? Did you know that you can also have living benefits? Because how many people have died from cancer or have not died, got sick, and they have a life insurance policy, but what does it do for them? Absolutely nothing, because you
That's
didn't
right.
die. But
Oh,
what-
wow, that's, again, very
Yeah,
insightful.
Right. This plan is called living benefits. Now they sell these plans with living benefits. So if I get cancer, stroke, heart attack, and I don't die, I have access to the cash from my death benefit right away.
So it gives you financial options
Stability.
and stability, and it alleviates the stress of those moments in life when the
Absolutely.
unthinkable happens.
Absolutely, because it happens, and we get sick before we usually die. Quick
That's so
story, 28-year-old male got cancer. He had a term policy for $1 million, okay? If he would have met me, I would have gotten him $1 million term policy with living benefits. So can you imagine, I'm 28, I can't work, I'm going through chemo, I'm watching my family suffer because I'm not getting, because I can't work and I can't provide for them. If he would have had that plan, he would have got a check for over $800,000. You get sicker if you're stressing about
Yeah.
money. So now that part is taken care of, and everybody needs to have that. Why wait? Why not have it? Instead of buying separate things, this one policy can do all of that. Give you all that power and the sense of not worrying, and building something that no one can take away from you.
There you go. You own it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said earlier, you own your financial future at that point.
Absolutely.
LaRoy, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
being here today.
No
It has
problem.
been an absolute pleasure. You have given me so much to think about. And again, please let us know, how can people find you?
Right. Give me a call at 708-205-5110. You can also go to my website at ChicagoSafeMoneyExpert.com. That's ChicagoSafeMoneyExpert.com. Office number is 708-794-8700. I'm here for you.
Great, and I'll make sure that I post all of that information on the link to the episode. I want to thank you so much for
you.
being here. Truly, it has been a wonderful experience. I've learned so much, and thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for tuning in and being a part of this episode today. If you have questions, please reach out to LaRoy, and please stay tuned for the next episode of The Ripple Effect. I'm Melissa Hull, and we'll see you next time.